Nippon Paint Flex 400 waterproofs concrete permanently and effectively from Nippon Paint.
National Finance Secretariat will now present the roadmap to the Governor and also to Ms. Azusa Kubota.
The Central Bank of Sri Lanka on Wednesday launched the Financial Literacy Roadmap of Sri Lanka, marking a significant step towards enhancing the financial capabilities of people. It said the roadmap, a cornerstone of Sri Lanka's national financial inclusion strategy, offers evidence-based guidance to all stakeholders engaged in financial literacy initiatives, aligning them towards a common objective: improving the financial behavior of Sri Lankans and bolstering their financial resilience. Developed through collaborative efforts among various stakeholders, led by the CBSL through the NFIS Secretariat under the Regional Development Department, the roadmap sets out to foster financial inclusion, enhance consumer protection, and fortify financial stability. With a focus on nurturing better financial habits and enhancing overall financial capability among Sri Lankans, the roadmap seeks to encourage informed and responsible usage of the diverse range of financial products available in the local market. It also emphasizes the cultivation of prudent and responsible financial behaviors, recognizing the significance of shaping the financial mindset of future generations amidst today's economic landscape. Complementing the roadmap is a comprehensive action plan, comprising sequenced actions collectively agreed upon by financial literacy stakeholders. The action plan delineates their respective institutional roles and responsibilities, ensuring the effective implementation of the roadmap. Furthermore, the United Nations Development Programme stands as a vital partner, providing both technical expertise and financial support for the realization of this initiative. The Financial Literacy Roadmap is available for general public at the Central Bank official website.
Financial literacy can also increase public trust in the financial system by supporting individuals to understand how the financial system works. This understanding of also very important for public to make those important decisions and also create and gain the credibility and trust of the system. By promoting financial literacy, financial consumers will be empowered to safeguard themselves from financial fraud and abuse. This is very common, not only Sri Lanka, even across countries, but this is where empowering the consumer is very important to safeguard them from frauds and abuses. Those are also growing with technology, with the new technologies. More importantly, financial literacy can support reducing our indebtedness, alleviating poverty, and breaking poverty traps. This is also an issue that we have been seeing in Sri Lanka. We are over indebtedness because of the lack of financial education and literacy, and that will also help alleviate poverty and people to come out of the poverty.
This is a very much needed and timely initiative, as it has the potential to address several of the multi-dimensional challenges faced by the community today. Since my arrival in this country, one year and a half ago, I have been traveling across the country to listen to the voices of the communities, particularly women and young people. It has become very clear that economic hardships have resulted in compounded debt amongst the vulnerable families. As part of data from the Multidimensional Vulnerability Report recently launched by UNDP in collaboration with the Oxford University, shows that more than half of the Sri Lankans were reported to be multidimensionally vulnerable. And close to 70% of them had to reduce at least one meal a day to cope. And amongst all of the 12 indicators composing the MVI, the highest contributor to the vulnerability is the indicator related to household debt. 33.4% of the Sri Lankan population experienced vulnerability and deprivation in debt-related indicators, including getting into debt for essential needs like food, medical care, and education, as well as pawning jewelry and selling household items. In light of the economic crisis that continues, it is highly probable that individual debt situations have deteriorated, consequently resulting in elevated deprivations in the debt indicator since the data was collected in 2023. To substantiate the NVI findings, I heard from the communities that often the lack of financial literacy amongst the borrowers, particularly women-headed households, contribute to their vulnerability. Women often were forced into signing agreements in a language that they did not understand. They did not know the rights and responsibilities, nor the terms of borrowing. In the absence of basic financial literacy, they were often forced into poor financial decisions. One of the factors addressing the acute debt-related vulnerabilities could involve financial literacy programs, debt management strategies, and livelihood diversification options that are often lacking in their livelihoods. This will also require the development of sustainable livelihoods options for them so that they could come out of this cycle of poverty and deprivations. In this regard, financial literacy has a strong role to play in alleviating the vulnerabilities faced by many of the people in the communities in Sri Lanka at this point in time. Therefore, UNDP is pleased to collaborate with the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, extending our technical expertise to develop financial literacy-related modules, design an advocacy campaign for the financial literacy brand, and disseminate the content, particularly amongst young people and women working in MSMEs. I hope there's going to be an explanation of the mascot chosen for this, the bee. I was just explained that the bees would have knowledge and also make wise decisions while being very hardworking. And more importantly, they collect honeys that nurtures the families. So I hope every Sri Lankan will be a busy bee and wise honey at the end of this program. Financial inclusion is positioned prominently as an enabler of the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, where it is featured as a target in 8 of the 17 goals. Additionally, in SDG 17 on strengthening the means of implementation, there is an implicit role for greater financial inclusion through savings mobilization for investment and consumption that can spur economic growth. Therefore, advocating for higher financial literacy is another important facet in all of the UN's efforts for a more sustainable Sri Lanka. UNDP, together with the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, aims to extend the reach of financial information and financial markets where they would otherwise not go. In particular, through this partnership, UNDP aims to target women, already mentioned, based on the growing evidence that access to savings leads to positive economic outcomes for women, including increasing productivity and profits and greater investment in their businesses. We'd like to incorporate this financial inclusion program in our existing activities, focusing on integrated water management, agriculture activities, social protection, and livelihoods, so that it will be a boost for all the investments we're making. In conclusion, I'd like to reiterate UNDP's continued commitment to working with the government of Sri Lanka to mainstream approaches and methods to improve access to finance. On behalf of UNDP, let me once again convey my deep appreciation to the Central Bank of Sri Lanka and other partners for endorsing this exercise and for continued leadership and support. And I hope many of the development partners will join the efforts to make that much needed boost. We have no option but to move decisively into an economic transition which has financial inclusion at the heart of it. UNDP remains firmly committed to working alongside with the government and people of Sri Lanka in this journey. Thank you very much.
For more latest news, subscribe to FTTV.